Bam, we're back live. Welcome to Nick White Classics, and it's time for another retro replay. Today we're playing the Atari 2600 game Infiltrate. So I put up a poll on the community page, and I had three options, and this is the one that received the most votes. So we're going to check this one out. You can see this game is produced by Apollo. Apollo Games made this one. This is Infiltrate. This is the one that you chose by voting, and I'm trying to look for the year on here. It looks like it is Infiltrate 1981. No, 1982. So let's check it out. Of course, we're playing this on the Atari 2600. Boom. Started up first try. Ooh. There we go. Yeah. Jinxed it for a second. There we go. Looking good. Okay, cool. So before we dig in, I just want to say Retro Replay is all about reliving the original Atari 2600 days. So when this came out in 1982, or at least when I got my hands on this game, or any of the Atari games in the mid 80s, I would get a loose cartridge with no manual most of the time, no box, nothing like that. So I would always just plug in the cartridge and play without knowing the story, without knowing the gameplay or the controls or anything like that. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're just gonna jump in and play. Let's check it out. This is Infiltrate for the Atari 2600. Let's go. I know that this is like it's a shooter game. Okay, let's go. So this is us at the bottom, the little purple dude. Okay, and we can shoot. And the little... Okay. The little purple square up top, those are the documents that I need to find. This is like a secret agent sort of thing. So I need to infiltrate, destroy the enemies, and collect my documents. Okay, I got my document. Now what? I don't know. I think I probably got to go back to the bottom, right? Okay, they send out more enemies. Okay. I got the documents at the bottom, and then more popped up top. So maybe that's it, man. I think... Yeah, I do like the colors on there. That's a good call, Brett. The colorful nature of this game is awesome. I played one other game in the past by Apollo Games, and that's called Shark Attack. That's like looks very similar to Pac-Man, except you have to avoid the shark and everything. But yeah, this is Infiltrate, and this is more of like a secret agent kind of game. So you see the blue block on the very top level there. We have to run up there. Those are the documents that we're searching for. Okay, I got 8,050 points. Yeah, that was my first run. I'm going to give it another shot. I just want to show I'm playing on the original hardware, on the Atari 2600. This game's kind of fun. You can see your lives at the bottom. They look like little boats at the bottom above my score. Felt like at first these enemies weren't shooting at me, but then they started shooting bullets, taking me out. So the graphics, I mean, pretty rudimentary, right, for an Atari, but it is an 8-bit Atari 2600 game, so I don't know, for 1982, I don't know that they're too terrible. You can see when you walk, the sprite has, 2 or 3 images, just a quick walk cycle. The enemies, same, it's like feet up, 1 foot down, and then it switches. Yeah, I think tonight is just a 1 cartridge night, Brett. I'm going to try to do more more of those like one cartridge nights, unless I have a guest on. And whenever I have a guest on, I like to do 3 or 4 games at a time just to like, yeah, get the most out of it. And we implemented something the last time we did a 2-player Tuesday where we did a blind pull of a game out of a box and then just randomly played that Atari game. And I thought that worked out. That was really fun. Oh, you checked out the Hunting for Classics episode. Thanks for checking that out, man. The 3rd episode is in the can, as they say, and I should have that edited and ready to release later this month. So yeah, appreciate you checking that out. If you're tuning in to Retro Replay and you haven't seen my new show, Hunting for Classics, definitely check it out on the channel. We have 2 episodes out so far, and the 3rd episode is coming soon. So yeah, definitely check it out. Hit me with a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think. Boom, there we go. Okay, I got my documents from the top, and now we're going back to the bottom here. I had a YouTube short that got 12,000 views, and that's the most I've ever seen so far, so I was pretty excited to see that. It's always nice to see new milestones, right, in the journey. So thank you to everybody who's watching the videos and hitting me with the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. Got to get those documents down there. There we go. Okay, this is as far as I've ever made it. I got 2 lives left. I got 8,300 points. And the goal is to get all the way back up to the top. Whoa. And get those blue documents without dying. You can't shoot while you're on the elevator, by the way, which is a shame. We shot each other. So if you're just tuning in, this is Infiltrate for the Atari 2600. We're some kind of special agent, and we're shooting lasers, collecting documents, and destroying these, I don't know. Damn, I don't know if I want to call them ghosts. They kind of look like ghosts with legs, don't they? Or maybe they're robots. I'd say they're probably robots. 1982, they were big on robots back then. 10,700 points is my best high score yet. Yeah, man. A lot of times it's just up to like the game designers to write these stories and such. So I'm gonna give this one more shot. Super colorful. It's very fun. I wish that they had like a variance of different like level formats, but maybe they do, and I'm just not making it, far enough. The enemies are obviously more difficult as you go. Because, when you first start, they don't even really shoot that much. And then eventually, they move a lot quicker. They follow you a little closer, and they shoot a lot more. Okay, now, oh, damn, they put them right back on the elevator. But yeah, the old school games stories, like, sometimes they're based on IPs. There's like a Smurfs game and MASH game. They based them on movies sometimes. I have a Porky's game for the Atari 2600, which is funny. They made an Aliens game and a lot of other like really, I don't know. I always loved it when they made games based on properties like movies and shows. But yeah, they also made a ton of like original content. Most of which, like, Atari started developing arcade games. So, to start with, I think a lot of their games were based on their arcade games. And then, even arcade manufacturers, eventually, when the Atari started to get popular in the late 70s, they would adapt their games for the 2600 so that people could play them at home. And so you end up with a ton of these games that are based on arcade games that are based on like existing properties, and then original games. And this is Infiltrate, made by Apollo, who made a handful of of original games. Okay, we got 4,500 points. See, SNES games. Nice. Good call, Mike. Dude, that guy came so quick. My collection of SNES right now is just a couple games, and I don't have a system yet, just a few games, but I'm working on it, man. I'm gonna get a Super NES sooner or later. Whew, they're moving super quick now. Okay, I got the documents, but then he smoked me. Oh man, as far as hunting for classics, I'm always looking for game shops or antique malls or anywhere that I can find a used game, actually. Whether it's estate sales, garage sales, and in the summertime anyways, and so on. But the first 2 episodes I'm stay around Central Ohio, but in episode 3 I go up to like mid-Michigan area. So definitely check that one out. I found some pretty sweet games. Picked up a couple classics, and I don't want to ruin anything, but yeah, definitely some gems in there. Definitely check that one out. He shot me from behind, bastard. Yeah, GameStop, I have checked GameStop before, and they said that they don't carry anything older than Nintendo NES. So I stopped checking there, man. I think I checked 2 different ones, got the same story at both shops, so then I stopped going to GameStop. But yeah, there's Level 1 is a spot in Columbus that's really great. One Up Games is a good one. It's like, I think it's called the Geek Emporium in Columbus. They have a sweet collection. There's a lot of retro gaming shops. There's a place called Big Fun that has a lot of great collectibles and comics, but unfortunately no Atari games. But yeah, there you have it, man. This is a super fun, very colorful game for the Atari 2600. I think that this is a game that I would definitely come back to sometime. I think it's a little repetitive. A lot of these games could get repetitive, clearly. This is definitely one of them, but it's fun to play, and I think if I was playing against somebody else to try to beat their high score, I could see me and my friends taking turns, as kids taking turns on this and trying to one up each other for sure. Gameplay's simple, but it's a lot of fun. I'd love to see him switch up the level layout, One thing I haven't checked is different difficulty modes. Oh yeah. There we go. Got the documents. Going back up. See, now they're even faster. Whenever you get a set of documents, they start to go a little quicker, a little more aggressive. What's up, Neon? No, this is on the Atari 2600. We're playing on the OG hardware. This is my Light Sixer from 1978, and we're playing the game Infiltrate, which is by Apollo Games, published in 1982. This is on the original hardware. I'm all about playing the OG games on the OG hardware. I think the emulators are great, and it's awesome, to play those old games if you can't get your hands on the original hardware. But I think nothing beats playing old games on the original hardware. This is the first time I've ever played this. This is an episode of our series called Retro Replay, where we play Atari 2600 games with no prep, right? I'm not reading the manuals. I'm not doing any practice. I'm just plugging in the cartridge and playing. This is the first time I've ever played this game. This is Infiltrate for the Atari 2600, and it's challenging, a little repetitive, but pretty fun. I think this is one that I definitely would play again. maybe not on 1-player mode, but definitely on 2-player mode. I'm curious, sometimes if you change the game select, there's different modes. Yeah, you can see at the bottom 1, 5, 1, 6. Let's see where so the 2 must be 2-player modes. So typically, what did that go up to? 1, 6? There it is, 1, 6. Okay, so this should be most likely higher difficulty. Oh shit. Dude, I think on this difficulty setting, the enemies are only visible when they're on the elevator. Is that right? Well, this sucks. It's gonna be super hard. Okay, I got the documents. Yeah, it's definitely more difficult. I didn't think it needed to be more difficult to begin with, to be honest, but that's fine. Might as well try it on the most difficult setting. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see him. Well, that was it. Quickly ran through 3 lives. If you're into retro gaming, make sure you hit me with the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, try to go live and play retro games on a regular basis. I'm just in search of the classics. I got a handful of Atari 2600 games, and I'm just trying to play them all on stream. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're in the right place. Today we played the game Infiltrate by Apollo Games from 1982. And yeah, this is one that I would come back to. I'd say if I were to give it a rating out of 10, I would give this like a solid 6.5. It's a good game. Yeah, there you have it. Thanks so much for tuning in to Nick White Classics. Until next time, keep supporting the oldies, keep supporting the classics, and we'll see you soon. Later.